ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. So, welcome to today's Bhagavatam discussion, 26th chapter of 3rd canto. We are going to start the new chapter. So, actually, according to schedule, so Kanai Krishna Prabhu has to come, but somehow his problems in family, he was not able to come. So, that's why I am taking. Sound? Opposite house. Acha. So, I will be taking for these 2 weeks, total 9 days. So expected is finishing off till 29 chapter, 26, 27, 28, 29. That's expected. So I'll try to follow. And I hope you all did a lot of hard work yesterday. And you appeared for exam? No? Yes, yes. Evening you were not there. Okay. So exam is okay. How you performed? Fine. Online students. If it is difficult, we'll reduce the level if you want. So anyway, I think 40 marks, most of the people will be getting pass mark. No doubt in that. Definitely. So I have an idea of having the fill in the blanks type questions. And in future, maybe as a grace, it's not included in your mark sheet, but till now we finished first canto, second canto. Now we are in 26th chapter of the third canto. Total almost we finished 19 plus 10, 29, 29 plus 25. So total 54 chapters. So 54 chapters we finished. So if you people take up two chapters each, and if you make so multiple choice questions are the fill in the blanks, it will be a great help in future. So whoever is interested, they can give the names, but it is not out of any curriculum, but it's just your grace and your mercy. Maybe whoever is interested, they can give the chapter numbers actually and canto. You can send message me and two chapters for each. Questions at least we can expect more than 30-35 questions for each chapter. Fill in the blanks. It can be based upon the Prabhupada purports, Acharya's commentaries both, and also sloka. And better is making the multiple choice questions, and otherwise fill in the blanks, either of these. So please, or otherwise maximum 1 mark, 1 mark questions. That's all. The thorough, fine understanding of subject matter. Huh? Huh? True, false also, no problem. Matching. Standard question bank, if you make, it will be very useful for devotees in future. Even for the teachers and students, the overall idea they can get very easily on the chapter. They can do exercises, they can do fill in the blanks, and overall knowledge they will get very quickly, and thorough knowledge. Maybe people may wonder why he is going too much academical, but it is also not wrong actually, even if you go, because Bhagavatam is everything for us, so can try. So in 26th chapter, I'm not going to the background. You all know this Kapila Bhagavan is teaching to his mother, Devahuti. So those previous flashback, I'm not covering directly. I'm starting 26th chapter. So in the 26th chapter, 72 slokas are there total. So quite big chapter with many commentaries are there. Many commentary. That means small, but not so big commentary. And chapter name is Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. We already studied this Karna Srishti. Once again we are getting several times it comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is also one more time, final time. This is a final touch actually. This Karna Srishti. So you'll be getting once again. Many things are already read, so quite familiar to all of you. So now, Punit Prabhu, can you sit either of this side or that side? Little bit. This side, this side. Thoda sa. So in this chapter, 72 means 25 each day. 3 days this chapter has to be taking. This chapter is taking 3 days to finish. And mostly we'll try to follow Sridhar Swami and Jiva Goswami, and also sometimes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary. So Sridhar Swami gave, and especially first 4 slokas, much commentary than others. So we'll follow that, and we'll make some small questions. Of course, if you're interested, you can also write it. If you don't interest, no problem. But it will be coming under the surprising questions in future. So that's up to you. And Sonali Mataji, you please note all the questions. And Sarveshwar Samsur, you also note all the questions, both. Whatever I mentioned, this is a question. Others, their choice, but big questions you should also note. And anyway, I can send. So after that, I'll finalize, and 1 mark, 2 mark questions I never send as a question bank. That can be always as a surprising only. If you don't want to be surprised in the exam, you can also write. Then you can also note and keep with you. That's up to you. And I will be making small questions also, 1 mark questions, because that's a future purpose. If you like, you can also note and you can keep with you. So whenever you teach or read back, then you will understand by seeing those questions easily what is the content of that chapter and what is the thing. That's up to you. So okay, now we'll start from first sloka. So Lord Kapila Bhagavan is saying Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. अथ ते संप्रवक्ष्यामि तत्त्वानां लक्षणं पृथक् यद्विदित्वा विमुच्येत पुरुषः प्रकृतैर्गुणैः. Translation services.
The personality of Godhead, Kapila, continued, My dear mother, now I shall describe unto you the different categories of the Absolute Truth, knowing which any person can be released from the influence of the modes of material nature.
Yeah, this sloka is telling what is the need of studying the Sankhya philosophy. So that is the purpose of studying Sankhya philosophy is explained in this our Subodhini book also. We can use all materials. Will whoever is Vaishnavas did any material, why don't we use utilize that their service? And in the Subodhini also you'll be seeing 1 and 2, these two slokas, they are explaining about what benefits of hearing Sankhya. So what is the benefit of, in the first sloka we are seeing the benefit of hearing Sankhya is so that one person can be released from the influence of the modes of material nature, getting freedom from or the influence of the modes of material nature. Athate sampravakshami. That means I will be explaining tattvanam lakshanam. Characteristic. Lakshana means characteristic. Characteristic of tattvas. Pratak. Yad viditva, by knowing that characteristics of the tattvas, vimuchyeta purushaha, that's living entity. Purushaha means here any person or any living entity. So prakrutaihi gunaihi, he'll be released from the material modes. That is the advantage of studying this tattvanam lakshanam. That means Sankhya philosophy is nothing but what? Which describes about the, which characterize the tattvas. We have 24 tattvas, and those definitions of each tattva we are going to see. So by knowing this, easily we can come out from the influence of the modes of material nature. This is the basic understanding of the sloka. Yeah, yeah. So what is the purpose of studying Sankhya? How can you say there is no word of Sankhya here? How can you bring the word Sankhya? So Tattvamnayam yat pravadanti Sankhyam ityatra Sankhya Bhakti Yogascha iti Trayam Upakshiptam. So here, how many Tattvanam Lakshanam we are seeing here in this sloka? Okay. Tattvamnayam yat pravadanti Sankyam ityatra Sankyam bhaktihi yogascha trayam upakshiptam. Tatra bhaktim uktva idanim sankyamaha ata iti. In the previous chapter, bhakti is told, and in this chapter we are going to see Sankhya. It's the Gnana actually. Sankhya comes under the Gnana Marga and Yoga. Kapila Bhagavan is going to explain in these teachings 3 systems actually. Gnana system, that's a Sankhya. Next is Bhakti system and also Yoga system. 3 systems. So now he is saying that Atha, the word Atha is indicating after. Atha is also known as, one of the meaning of Atha is after. So after what? After explaining the Bhakti, oh my dear mother, now I am going to explain to you Sankhya. So in future he'll be explaining about the yoga also. Okay. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, only through devotional service. Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. As stated in Bhagavatam, the object of devotional service is Mam Krishna. And as explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, to understand Krishna means to understand Krishna in his personal form with his internal energy, his eternal energy, his expansions, and his incarnations. There are many diverse departments of knowledge in understanding Krishna. What the six sages, sages ask six questions, you know? So, fundamental questions. What are those questions they asked? Anyone remember? Saunakadi rishis, they asked six questions. So, there also something whatever Prabhupada is writing here that is also connected to, we can see some connection. Anyone wants to know Lord means knowing of what? What is the fourth question in that six questions? What is the third question? Anyone remember? Third, fourth, fifth. So Bodhini is having little problem. Leave it. Huh? Vipin Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam.
Pranam.
Prabhuji, third question, fourth question, fifth question related to incarnations of Lord. Specifically, one is Purusha incarnation, and next is Leela incarnation. Actually, it was like that, but when we told you that it is like that, you told no, it's different.
Yeah.
So is it right, Prabhuji?
Yeah. So third question is about the why Krishna appeared in the form of Mother Devaki, and fourth question is what kind of leelas he performed. So Krishna, what kind of leelas he performed, and fifth question is what are the various his incarnations, past tense actually through his incarnations, what past tense he did. So these are all actually tattvam. Knowing tattvam means this only. So Srila Vyasadeva promised in this before starting the Bhagavatam Satyam Param Dhimahi. So he is paying obeisances to Satyam Param Dhimahi. That's the object which is eternal and also which is so Prakrute Prakrute Param. So Krishna, that is nothing but Krishna actually. So that Vyasadeva is paying obeisances to Krishna, and even Saunakadi Rishis also wants to know about the Krishna, and Soda Goswami is also saying Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam in the third chapter, that is Krishna. So that's why here Prabhupada is also writing, knowing Tattvam means, so knowing Krishna, personal form of the Krishna. So that is the main thing. And to know that Krishna, what is the sadhana, what kind of so thing we should use, bhaktya mam abhijanati. So one should know Krishna through bhakti. So but Kapil Bhagavan explains all these three systems. Finally Devahuti, Mata Devahuti will take up bhakti system only. So she will be realizing bhakti is the supermost, and it is going to give full knowledge. That means about the Tattvam. By Jnana, you can realize Krishna as Brahman. Yeah. And yogis, they will realize Krishna as Paramatma. So that we have discussed how yogis realizes Paramatma in the second canto. In the first chapter and also in the second chapter, we have seen how yogis, they meditate on the Paramatma who is there in the heart. That's a Bhakti Mishra yoga system they use. That's a yoga is the prominent there. By using that, so one can realize. If their heart is not purified, they will be initially meditating on the Virat Rupa, and then after that, purifying the heart, they will be meditating on so Paramatma. And but bhakti is the highest thing. By bhakti, one can realize Supreme Lord completely. So that's why in the Bhagavad Gita also says Krishna bhaktya mam avijanati. So Sankhya philosophy is especially meant for persons who are conditioned by this material world. So yeah, see here Prabhupada is writing Sankhya philosophy. Knowing this tattvam, why we need, because especially who are engrossed in these material objects. So for them, analytical study of these tattvas will help to get the detachment from these material objects. It is this Sankhya is nothing but the analytical study. So the for trying in that system, they try to analyze the various characteristics of the fundamental elements which are cause for the creation, which are cause for this gross manifestation of this universe, which are cause for the variety of the objects which attract you. We'll be seeing the Rasagulla. But if you analyze the Rasagulla, what is there in the Rasagulla? Huh? Milk sugar is there, but milk sugar, you also, if you analyze milk, sugar, these are all, and water, these are all also 5 gross elements: earth, water, fire, so some space, and also some air. These 5 elements came together and they formed as Rasgulla actually. So like this, these 5 elements, and also sometimes if you see a small deer, what is there? What is having, what it is consisting of? It's having the body, deer, beautiful deer. So it is having the, what kind of elements, fundamental elements? It is having the, so 5 gross elements: earth, water, fire, ether, air, all these. And also it is having the 5 sense objects and 5 senses. And also even Rasgulla is also having not only gross elements, subtle elements also there. Taste is there in that, the sweetness, and also rasa is there, and also shape is there, form, and also smell is there, and also, so yeah, space also is there, shabda, sound. If you drop down the Rasgulla, some sound will come or not. Yeah. So that means 5 sense objects also there in the Rasgulla. But if you go to deer, even it is having more. It is having the 5 senses also, and working senses and knowledge senses, and some mind also it is having, and the controlling deities also it is having. So like this, these people, these Sankhates, they analyze, they understand the basic elements of this creation. So that what will happen when you see Rasagulla and deer, you will be understanding these are all combination of these elements. So in this way, he will be getting the detachment from anyone. So it's generally understood by parampara system or by, so next you see in the purport, philosophy is especially meant for persons who are conditioned by the material world. So that's why basic philosophy is very much necessary. Philosophy we need to know, otherwise absolute ruchi if you got on the Krishna name, it is fine. Otherwise, philosophy also is needed. Without philosophy, religion will become a sentiment. Oh, you might be doing few days, few months, and then after that, abruptly you'll be stopping also. But natural taste for the hearing Krishna Katha is there, then that is highest thing. It is generally understood by the parampara system or by disciplic succession. So Prabhupada anyway say, anything you are knowing means, what is the, always he established the pramana. So pramana means, so the system through which we are going to get the knowledge. What system gives the highest knowledge? What system? This Guru Parampara system. That is Sabda Pramana, which is Sabda, which is coming in the Guru Parampara, authorized Parampara, unbroken disciplic succession. So that's why always Srila Prabhupada reminds us, because what is the source of your knowledge is the highest important. If source of knowledge is not a correct source, then everything is is improper actually. So that's why he says one should learn the knowledge in the disciplic succession. So compared to pratyaksha and anumana pramanas, which is the highest pramana? Shabda pramana. In Tattva Sandarbha, we were seeing which pramana is the highest? Shabda pramana. Why Shabda pramana is highest? Every Shabda is highest? No. Only Brahmadi dosha rahita vachanatmakaha Shabda. The Shabda which is free from the four defects. And that Shabda is only the authentic, is the highest. Not that the Shabda, so someone saw this something and he wants to lie and he said something to you. But incident happened another way, but he explained in another way. So then that kind of Shabda you are hearing and getting the knowledge about that incident, then that Shabda is not correct. Every Shabda is not correct. The Shabda which is having the origin, which is free from four defects, and that Shabda is the highest. And that can be what? That can be the Vedas. And that can be the, even Vedas are not available. So which is the highest? Puranas. Even in that Puranas, so now Puranas also there are a lot of different opinions are there. So Emperor Pramana is the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is established. So that's why we should approach Srimad Bhagavatam to learn the knowledge, and which is coming in the Guru Parampara. Thank you. So next, preliminary studies of devotional service. Preliminary studies of devotional service have already been explained. Now the analytical study of devotional service will be explained by the Lord. Who says that by such an analytical study, one becomes free from the modes of material nature? The same assertion is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Tato mam tattvato gnatva. By understanding the Lord according to the various categories, one can become eligible to enter into the kingdom of God. So, by knowing about the Lord is also bhakti only. It is not coming under simply with the connection of the Supreme Lord. If you try to know anything, then that is bhakti. But in the general jnanis, they don't connect things with the Lord. They will be trying to see themselves as different from the gross body and subtle body. Deha dvayadi vyatiriktena pashyati. That means they are seeing themselves. Then that jnana is different from the. So here we are seeing all the elements are there, but they are all coming from the Vishnu, Krishna. So this kind of study is also devotional service only. So one can become free from the modes of material nature. The eternal self, after becoming freed from the spell of material nature, becomes eligible to enter into the kingdom of God. As long as one has even a slight desire to enjoy or lord it over material nature, there is no chance of his being freed from the influence of nature's material modes. Therefore, one has to understand Supreme Personality of Godhead analytically, as explained in Sankhya system of philosophy by Lord Kapila. So what is the meaning of Sankhya system? It is an analytical study of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is known as Sankhya system, Sankhya philosophy. Lord and also the energies of the Lord. Okay, come to the next sloka. Gnanam nishreyasarthaya purushasyaatmadarshanam yadahurvarnaye tatte हृदय ग्रंथि भेदनम जय गोपीनाथ.
Knowledge is the ultimate perfection of self-realization. I shall explain that knowledge unto you, by which the knots of attachment to the material world are cut.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Knowledge is the ultimate perfection of self-realization. Gnanam nishreyasarthaya purushasya atmadarshanam yadahur varnaye tatte hridaya granthi bhedanam. This is Sankhya knowledge. Second question is also is telling about what is the purpose of studying this Sankhya philosophy. What is the purpose of studying the Sankhya philosophy? Is the second point is self-realization, and also Hridaya Grandhi Bhedanam, to cut the knot of karma or ahankara, the knot of attachment. It is okay. Atmadarshanam, Hridaya Grandhi Bhedanam, and in the previous sloka we are seeing. So yad vimuchyate, yad viditva vimuchyate purushaihi prakrutair guna. So you can write a question on this. So what is that question? What is the purpose of studying, or studying the Sankhya philosophy? It will be 1 mark. 3 point. No. Okay. So we go to Sridhar Swami's commentary. Nanu mukti atmagnana deva natu tattva gnanat. Actually, here one question, Purupakshi can raise a question. What we are studying that. So Sankhya means what? Tattvanam lakshanam. Knowing the characteristics of tattvas is known as Sankhya. You also write 1 mark question. What is Sankhya philosophy? Based upon this sloka, I am saying, Prabhupada also wrote in the end of this sloka, but based upon this sloka, I am saying, Tattvanam Lakshanam Sankhya. That means knowing the characteristics of tattvas, or the study of characteristics of tattvas is known as Sankhya philosophy. Okay, this is 1 mark. So now, what is the connection between the Atma Gnanam, what we understood? We understood here Atma Tattva Gnana. So by studying the Sankhya philosophy, what is one of the purpose among these studying the Sankhya philosophy? What is that? Second advantage is, second purpose is what? Self-realization. What is the connection between the self-realization and Sankhya philosophy? This is the point actually. By self-realization means one can get the self-realization by studying the self, Atma. What is the need of studying the tattvas? What is the need of studying the Sankhya philosophy? What is the need of studying Sankhya philosophy? This is the point actually. Purupakshi raised this question. Then what is the answer? Tamev viditva atimrutyumeti iti shrute ataha gnanam. आत्मदर्शन रूपम ज्ञानम अतः एव हृदय ग्रंथि भेदनम अहंकार निवर्तकम निश्रेयस प्रयोजनाय यदाहु तत्ते प्रवक्ष्यामि. So now what is the answer? Our question is what? How Sankhya, studying of Sankhya philosophy is the cause for self-realization? This is a question. Okay, you write it. How Sankhya philosophy, studying of Sankhya philosophy is a cause for self-realization. So what is connection? What is the meaning here? So in the self-relation, what happens? Self-relation means knowing about the self. I am Atma. So this is known as self-relation, fixing in that. But Sankhya philosophy, how it helps? So Sankhya philosophy is nothing but it is telling about the tattvas. So by studying the Sankhya philosophy, you will be understanding the tattvas so that you can easily separate Atma from those all tattvas. What is the advantage? One can easily distinguish by the study of Sankhya philosophy. What is happening? One can distinguish self from other tattvas. Understanding? Otherwise, he cannot distinguish. In the self-relation, what? So, Atma, Anatma, Vastu, Vivekaha. Distinguishing Atma from Anatma Vastus, non-Atma Vastus. That means non-Chid Vastus. Differentiating. That is known as Atma Gnanam. So, that is possible actually. Okay? Understood? So that is the thing actually. In this second sloka, we can so understand this. If you go to purport, it is said that by the proper understanding of the pure self or by self-realization, one can be freed from the material attachment. Knowledge leads. On reverse also you can think in this line. You can know self when you understand non-chidvastus, that means material objects, material things. So if you differentiate Atma from the material objects, so then that is the leading step towards the self-relation. So knowledge leads one to attain the ultimate perfection of life and to see oneself as he is. The Shvetavastra Upanishad also confirms this. Tameva viditva ati mrityumeti. Prabhupada is writing this purport based upon Srila Sridhar Swami's commentary. Okay. Tameva viditva atimrutyumeti. This is quoted in Srila Sridhar Swami's commentary. That only he is taking and writing. What is the meaning of this? This is from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Shvetashvatara. Simply by understanding one's spiritual position or by seeing oneself as he is, one can be freed from material entanglement. Or by seeing in various ways. That means what is the meaning? Tam viditva. That means by knowing the self. So one can liberate himself. So to know self, he should distinguish self from the other objects, material objects. So for that, one should know the characteristics of other objects. That is explained by the Sankhya philosophy. That's the point. So in various ways, the seeing of oneself is described in Vedic literatures and is confirmed in the Bhagavatam, Purushasya Atmadarshanam, that one has to see oneself and know what he is. As Kapila Dev explains to his mother, this seeing can be done by hearing from the proper authoritative source. Kapila Dev is the greatest authority because he is personality of Godhead. And if someone accepts whatever is explained as it is without interpretation, then he can see himself. Actually, what? Really, for devotees also, Sankhya philosophy is needed. In fact, actually, if you see, for devotees, there is no need of studying any analytical study of these tattvas is not necessary actually. In fact, because Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prajayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanancha Adhaitukam. So by performing bhakti in the Supreme Law, Vasudeva, automatically it will generate the knowledge about the Supreme Lord and also his energies. So, but why then we need to study? Why it is there? Just that is, it will improve your Shraddha actually. And also it is devotional service when you see all these studies in connection with the Lord. That's the point. Okay. Sumati Mataji. Sleeping? Okay. So, all this knowledge, if you see these tattvas also in connection with the Lord, then it is also glorifying the Lord only. So that's why I say Kapila Dev is the greatest authority because he is a personality of Godhead, and if someone accepts whatever is explained as it is without interpretation, then he can be himself. Lord Chaitanya explained to Sanatana Goswami the real constitutional position of the individual. He said directly that each and every individual soul is eternally the servitor of Krishna. Jivera Swarupa Hai Krishnera Nityadas. Every individual soul is eternally a servitor. This is a real position, a real understanding, the fine understanding of self. So I am not body, I am soul. This is the only limited understanding. It is not the complete understanding. Complete understanding is I am the servant of Lord. This is the complete understanding about the oneself. So this is possible by devotional service. This position is rightly understood. Oneself cuts the knot of the material. So attraction. So that's why real purification happens by the bhakti only. By practicing the knowledge, so bhakti is not actually one's heart is not completely purified. Due to false ego or false identification of oneself with the body and the material world, one is entrapped by Maya. But as soon as one understands that he is qualitatively the same substance as the Supreme Lord, because he belongs to the same category of spirit soul, and that this spiritual position is to serve, one attains Atmadarshanam and Hridaya Grandhi Bhedanam, self-realization. Prabhupada is saying that self-realization means here he is saying not just knowing that I am soul. That's why Prabhupada's beauty of purpose is he is coming always to the direct point. So here knowing Atmadarshanam means knowing I am self. That means I am soul, I am not body. This is not the fine understanding of the self, but I am the servant of the Lord. This is the fine understanding. This is the Prabhupada is elaborating extending the meaning of Atmadarshanam. Therefore, when one is freed from the false ego by the cultivation of real knowledge, he sees himself, and that is the ultimate necessity of human life. The soul is thus isolated from the entanglement of 24 categories of material nature. Pursuit of the systematic philosophic process called Sankhya is called knowledge of self-realization. Here also once again he defined. Okay, this purport is clear. And Anadiratma Purusho Nirguna Prakrute Paraha Pratyagdhama Swayam Jyotir Vishwam Yena Samanvitam. Swarnakanti Prabhu.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Soul, and he has no beginning. He is transcendental to material modes of nature and beyond the existence of this material world. He is perceivable everywhere because he is self-effulgent, and by his self-effulgent luster, the entire creation is maintained.
Here, see the Subodhini, third and fourth. They are telling about Lord's interaction with the Prakriti is just a pastime by his will. So in the third sloka, we are seeing what is. So Lord is Anadihi, Atma, Purushaha, Nirgunaha, Prakrutehe Paraha, Pratyagdhama, Swayam Jyotihi, Vishwam Yena Samanvitam. These are the various characteristics. So tell me meaning of one. Lord is Anadihi, means without beginning. So Lord is Atma. Atma means Supreme Soul. Lord is Purushaha, means personality of God. Lord is Nirgunaha. Lord is Prakritehe Paraha, means beyond this material modes. Lord is Pratyagdhama, means is perceivable everywhere. And Lord is Swayam Jyotihi. Lord is self-effulgent. And finally, Yena Vishwam Samanvitam, by whom Vishwa, that means this universe is created. So by whom? That is Lord. Lord is the creator and maintained also. So each one characteristics of here Lord is defeating the one philosophy. That we have to understand now. Sarvadarshan Sangraha, there is one book. This book is describing the various prominent philosophies accepted in society. And these philosophies are very different actually. Like example, Charvaka philosophy. What is their philosophy? Anyone knows? According to them, what is the absoluteness? There is no absoluteness. Everything is temporary. This body after death, nothing will be there. Nothing will be there means everything is finished. You will be coming from the earth, you will be merged into earth. Finish. So that's why there is no next life. There is no punya and papa, nothing. See, nice philosophy. Nothing, no soul, soul, kuch nahi. No soul, nothing. No permanent thing. Everything is temporary. So you eat it, drink it, and enjoy. Ranam krutva, grutam pibet. So what is there actually? Why we have to worry about the? So we'll be becoming indebted to someone. In next life, we should come and we should repay it. This kind of philosophy is always headache. What is the best thing? So nothing is there, no next life, nothing. So you take money, lend money, borrow money from someone and happily enjoy it and finish. So what is the problem? So nice philosophy. Who gave this philosophy? Huh? Charvaka philosophy given by who? Anyone knows? Astoshi. You know? Charvaka is not. Charuvak means nicely told. Charvak. That's the meaning. It's not a person name. Who gave? Bruhaspati gave. Our. No. So Bruhaspati gave this philosophy to bewilder demons. That is the. See, previously people, they will be declaring war through this way also. By misguiding opposite party. So then winning them. This is also one kind of war actually. So Devatas, that means Devaguru is Bruhaspati, and he declared war on demons by misguiding them. This philosophy he gave. He convinced them. That's why they will be doing more and more sinful activities. They will be easily conquered. That is the philosophy actually. No. Bruhaspati gave this philosophy. Lokayata means this way. So famous in general world. That's why. Yes, it says that, yeah. Everything is temporary. And and like this, many philosophies are there. What about the Mimamsaka philosophies? It's nothing. Everything is Swarga is ultimate and going there and enjoy, come back. There is no permanent abode where you can stay eternally. No, nothing. So do the dharma, earn the artha, and after that enjoy it. Dharma, artha, kama. No moksha. And what about the Buddhist philosophy? Buddhist philosophy is very surprising actually. Especially Vijnanavadis. What they say? They say that Vijnanavada means only consciousness is permanent. That is universal consciousness. Permanent means, so I don't know how they believe the consciousness, because ultimately they say everything is sunyam. But I heard only some extent. So consciousness is there, and any object you are seeing, that is due to the various changes in the consciousness. This object is not there. This mobile is not there. This mobile you are seeing because of changes in the consciousness. There is no individuality, but we are feeling I am this, you are that. This kind of distinction is coming because of in the consciousness changes. Vijnanavada. Everything is no, quantum physics is real. So this kind of philosophy is given by, so one of the 4 sets are there in the Bauddha philosophy. Prominent streams, 4 streams are there, with Vijnanavadis. So all these philosophies are defeated here. Sridhar Swami is quoting by what word, what philosophy is rejected. That we have to understand now. Okay, first. So now, according to our philosophy, Vaishnava philosophy, what is absolute truth? Anadir Atma Purusho Nirguna Prakrute Paraha Pratyagdhama Swayam Jyotir Viswam Yena Samanvitam. This is the definition of Paramatma, absolute truth, according to Vaishnavas and Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we say Anadi, whom we are defeating? The word Anadi is defeating which philosophy? Charvaka nahi. Anadi means what? Without beginning. So this is defeating which philosophy? Just now I said 2-3 philosophies. Out of that, one philosophy is defeated. Tell me. When you say absolute truth is beginningless, which philosophy is defeated? By saying Anadi. Huh? Only 3 I said. Remaining is what? Buddhist philosophy. In Buddhism, what? Every object is temporary, kshanika. It's just this conception. It's conception of the consciousness. Just the object is not there. But actually, our philosophy, everything is beginningless. Even this mobile is also Anadi. In what way? In his Karana. It is a Karya Rupam. Mobile means what? Mobile is nothing but the It is the Pancha Mahabhutas and Pancha Pancha Mahabhutas and also Pancha Tanmatras. It's combination of this. And in this way, this mobile, in the form of its cause, it is also eternal or not. So that's why, according to us, object is not just Kshanika. It is there from the beginningless. So our philosophy is Satkaryavada. What is the Satkaryavada? Effect is existing in the form of cause eternally. Example, curd is coming from the milk. So before seeing the curd, if you see milk, in that milk, curd is there or not? Yes or no? Is there, but it just some time difference is there to manifest. Similarly, in the Prakriti, this mobile is there or not? Is mobile is there. In this Prakriti, this alarm is there or not? On that beginning day, when Lord put a glances on the Prakriti, on that day also this mobile is there, but it is not in the manifested form. But as time progresses, these gunas are started changing. That means time is the changer of gunas and guna vyatikaraha. So that means it changes, it brings the changes in the gunas, and in the due course of time, from the Prakriti, this alarm is coming. No. Huh?
The exam question was asked, na? What is the use of necessity of time? So it was confusing somewhat. Can you please?
You wrote yes. Okay, I'll discuss answers in the next class. So like this, what is happening? So objects are there, but in the avyakta form, unmanifested form. So, but in the Kshanikavadis and Lord, and also, so these objects and these all objects are Prakriti, and which is nothing but the Shakti of the Lord, and that's why whole cause is Lord actually. Even to that Prakriti, who is the cause? Lord. And that's why everything is included in the Lord, and that Lord is eternal. And in this way, our philosophy is saying that, so Lord is eternal. But in the case of the Kshanikavadis, so everything is only temporary. That means now in some changes in my consciousness, that's why I'm seeing mobile, this alarm. And after that, sometime it will not, if there are no changes, then there is no mobile. It's not that this alarm or otherwise mobile. So it's not that the mobile is there existing and I am seeing mobile. It's not their philosophy. This conception is there in the consciousness. That's why you are seeing mobile. They are very different, actually different. So that's why by saying the word Anadi, Vijnanavadi, Kshanikavadis are rejected.
Is this? I was hearing Rasraj Prabhu. He was also telling some connection. But what you are telling this now, just like what Buddhavadi says. Also, say you are seeing the table, but your table, what you are seeing, this is not table. And then he was connecting with quantum physics. You should know the physics, quantum physics. So yeah, that he was quoting also example. It's like this body. The body is nothing but that is 10th chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Is a purports Prabhupada says body is with the effect of senses. What is made of senses? So what is body? The body is nothing but this effect of senses. So do you know something like to say?
No. Ajay Gopinath Prabhu. Yes. Spurti Vishya Padan. That means objects are due to Spurti. Spurti means the imagination. So you are imagining, you are feeling That object, that's why you are seeing this object. You are in your consciousness, you are feeling object, and that's why you are seeing this. It's not that the object is there that you are seeing.
My
Cause for the objects, spurti in your consciousness. That is the Kshanikavadis. Very different philosophy actually. And yeah, yes, Prabhu, Jai Gopinath.
I don't know whether I can ask about this philosophy, but the question is that even for that conception, they should have some object earlier. Without anything, concept, it cannot just come like that.
So they have all reasons, but just I know only little bit of their philosophy. But all our questions will be answered in that.
Okay.
Any philosophy will clarify all these things. It's not that the yeah, there are a lot of questions can become raised, but all are answered if you follow their axioms. Then huh? So only basic fundamental thing is, yeah, by this Anadi word, the Vijnanavadis, you also just take it as a brief introduction to that philosophy. And if you are interested, go and deeply study. And also you can explore many things in this limited class time, our time. So I can cover this much, and even I also don't know much. So some philosophers I don't know much, some philosophers I know, because I studied Nyaya, I studied the Mimamsa to some extent, and so I studied Sankhya philosophy, it's Nirishwar Sankhya. So those things I know, and also Pratyakshavada also I studied. Sorry, this Lokayata philosophy, this Charvaka philosophy. But this Buddhist philosophy I didn't study. I don't know much, but I can say from this commentary what it is written here. Based upon that, I am saying the word Anadi is defeating the philosophy of the Buddhist. So these are Kshanikavadis. According to them, objects are created by the changes in the consciousness. Spurti Vishayan. All these padarthas, material objects, are due to spurti. Spurti means so feeling those objects in the consciousness. That's why it is seen in physical world. We are seeing the objects in the physical world because those are all felt in the consciousness. This is their field philosophy, and many doubts can be raised here, but I don't know much. Okay, this much also you should write, even if I ask exam. Just it is a door to enter into that philosophy. If you want to go inside, you should do yourself. I don't know. Okay, next the word Anadhi Sanatana etadrishastu jivopi asti tatraha prakriter iti. So one may say that, so this Anadi can be the Jivatma also. Then what immediately said? Prakrutehe paraha. It is also said next what? So here Anadi is Jivatma and also Ishvara, but this whole sloka is telling about the Ishvara only. How can you take? Because Prakrutehe paraha. That means who is the controller of Prakriti. So that is who? That is only Supreme Lord. So this Visheshana, Prakrutehe Paraha, is distinguishing Ishvara and Jiva. So Naiyayikadhyavimataha Ishvaraha, Ishvarostetyada Ishvara Asti. And next Nirguna word is there. Nirguna word is rejecting the. So Gnanadi Gunatvam Varayati Nirgunaha. Mm.
Vishnu,
Yes, Prabhu.
you told because this Prakriti Para is given.
Yeah.
But the Jivas are also there, Prakriti Para, beyond this material, that the Nitya Suris are there. Or even if we say in general, the Jivas are beyond the three modes.
Yeah, but here you're taking I am Prakriti Para means who is the controller of Paraha is taken in that way. So this and next Nayayika's philosophy is Nyaya philosophy. According to the Nyaya, what is the definition of Ishvara? Nayayika philosophy, anyone knows? The Ishvara definition? Ishvara. You have that book, Prabhu, Ishvara? There's a Tarka Sangraha. Ishvara definition is? What is the Atma is given? Give me otherwise, bro. Can anyone bring? Yeah. According to the Nyaya philosophy, Atma is Gnana Gunakam Atma. What is that? Atma is also Dravya. How many Dravyas are there? Navad Dravyani. 9. According to the, anyway, instead of going to the much story is there. So instead of going to the detailed discussion of this story, I will be explaining that the brief thing. According to Nayayikas, what is the Ishvara? What is Ishvara? That we should understand, and that is defeated actually here. 1 second. So here it is given. So there are the, according to the Nyaya, 7 padarthas are there. Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, Samavaya, Abhava. 7 padarthas. Total whole creation they divide into 7 padarthas. That's all. According to the Sankhya, it's total 24. But according to the Nayayikas, how many? Only 7. They are even very easy actually. And in that first one is Dravya Guna. Dravya is there. In that Dravya is also divided into, each is divided into further actually. This Dravya is divided into 9. What is that? So Pruthivyap, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, Diga, Atma, Manamsi. That means Pruthivyap, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, Diga, Atma, Manamsi, Navaiva, Dravani. So there is, so Dravyas also categorized. That means earth, water, fire, air, sky, and directions, and also Atma and mind. So these are the different Dravyas. In that Atma is there. And that Atma is divided into 2. What is Atma? Gnana Adhikaranam. Gnana Adhikaranam Atma. Gnana Adhikaranam. That means the locus of knowledge. Where knowledge resides, that is Atma, their definition. That Atma is two types. What is that? Jivatma and Paramatma. So Paramatma means the locus which is having the knowledge of everything. Is Paramatma the locus? So which is having the only about this body is known as Jivatma. That is the definition of Naiyayikas about the Ishvara. Ishvara means what? Sarvagnatvam. That means first Ishvara is also one of the Atma. Atma is Gnana Adhikaranam is Atma. That is two types. Atma and Paramatma, Jivatma and Paramatma. So Paramatma is nothing but the Ishvara, and who is Sarvagnaha. So ultimately, what is their definition? Atma. Ishvara is also Atma or not? Atma, and which is having the quality of Gnana, is said. That is defeated here by saying the word Nirguna. The word Nirguna is defeating the philosophy of Naiyayikas. You should explain how the word Nirguna is defeating the philosophy of Naiyayikas. Write this question. You should write each. How the word Anadi is defeating the philosophy of Kshanikavadis. You should write how the word Nirguna is defeating the philosophy of Naiyayikas. Yashoda Kirti Mataji, yes.
Prabhuji,
Hmm.
I understood till Atma, two types of Atma. Sarvajnatvam is Paramatma, and the second is Atma.
Sarira, who is having the knowledge about this Sarira.
Yes, Atma is having knowledge about Sharir, and Paramatma is Sarvajna.
Yes.
So, please once, can you please once again
Here
repeat that
what I'm
Nirguna step, last step, Nirguna.
Yeah. So here, according to the Naiyayikas, the object which is having the quality of Guna, the object which is having the Guna quality is known as, the object which is having the Gnana as a quality, the object which is having the Gnana as a quality, that object is known as Atma. That is nothing but Ishvara also, Jivatma or Paramatma, Ishvara also. That means according to the Naiyayikas, what? That object is having the quality. What quality? That is Gnanam. But now here in the sloka, what is said? It is Nirgunaha. It is said as Nirgunaha. So when it is said Nirgunaha, their point of, what is that point? Their point, Atma, Ishvara is having the quality of Nirguna, or quality of Gnana, that is rejected, defeated. Understood, Mataji?
We consider Nirguna as free from three modes of material nature, that is Sattva Gun, Rajogun, Tamogun.
Yeah.
So here it is Gun of Jnana. So
here Gnana is what? According to the Naiyayikas, knowledge is also stored in Atma actually. In Atma, knowledge is stored. What means whenever you know about the various, you can switch off that, mute it.
yes, Prabhuji.
So there are so many objects are there in the material world. So the information, the knowledge about these are stored where? In Atma, according to them. Yes, that is the point, their point. But what we are saying, this Atma is not locus of the, according to our philosophy, Atma is Nirguna. That means no material quality is existing here. So Naiyayikas knowledge is what? Is a material quality. According to Naiyayikas, knowledge is one among the material qualities. Here knowledge is not the spirit actually here. Knowledge is nothing but the knowledge, the information about the objects. This is the knowledge. So that's why this knowledge is also a material quality. Understand? This knowledge is material quality. And that is there in what? In Atma. So, but what is our philosophy? There is no material quality in Atma. So that's why by the word Nirguna is defeating the philosophy of Nayayikas. You're understanding? Yashoda Kirti Matas, you got it? Hello?
Hare Krishna.
Got it, Mataji?
Yes, somewhat clear. It is somewhat clear. Prabhu. Not exactly.
Not-
Not completely. Not
Okay, actually, one second. What I am
Yes,
saying,
please.
in the Nayayika philosophy, what? Atma is the locus for the knowledge which is belong to the objects. And this knowledge is stored where? Is in the Atma. This is knowledge is what? Material actually. Material quality this is stored in Atma. So according to our philosophy, so no material knowledge is stored actually. According to our philosophy, there are objects are there. Let us take these are the objects. If we see by through the senses, those are all in the heart only, in the mind. It is also known as a heart. There are various vrittis are formed. And there is no changes in, according to our philosophy, there is no change to Atma. Atma is Nirguna. And according to them, this is gaining the knowledge. Understanding or not?
Prabhu, we also defines Atma as Sat Chit Ananda. So there's Chit actually referring the
No Sachit Ananda.
full of.
Already they said na Atma means Gnana Adhikaranam.
Now, according to us, we
Sat.
say Chit means the full of knowledge. So that knowledge is only spiritual knowledge.
Yeah, that is the spirit actually. That is the ability to know the things. Okay. Those are all. That means Chit is there. That's why mind is able to grasp the objects in the association of the Chit. But Gnana is the guna to the Atma actually. According to them, Nayayikas. But according to us, Gnana is not guna of the Atma. You're understanding? Gnana means what? This objects, knowledge about the objects.
Prabhu, Lord knows that every Paravidya and Aparavidya both is having. So Atma is not having that both knowledge. Paravidya and Aparavidya. Material
Atma,
and spiritual.
through the agencies, we are also knowing the everything about our body. How we are knowing? Through the agencies of Maya. That means, where is that transformation? When you are knowing the objects, so that transformation is happening in the Atma, that knowledge is stored in the Atma, in the heart. Where it is stored? In the vrittis, they in the form of vrittis stored in the heart. Not in the soul. Avikari actually. Atma is avikari. Gnatritvam quality is there. This because of the spirit, Atma only, this mind is Jadapadartha, this heart is Jadapadartha. But their vrittis are formed because of the Atma only. But those are not directly quality of Atma. Okay? No?
Tattva Sandarbha. One of the questions was where to prove the Jnana Shalitvam of Jivatma. The
In Tattva Sandarbha?
Yeah, remember the Jnana Shalitvam? that the
Gnanashalitvam, yes, I discussed in the Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranahite.
yes. So Jnana Shalitam. So the ability of
Yeah.
jiva to know the objects around.
Yes.
So Jnana Shal.
Yes.
What would be the difference between this jnana that they say and
Yeah.
Jnana Shalitam?
In knowingness, the ability is there in the Atma. That is nothing but the Chit. Chit is nothing but the ability to know. But this material information is not there in the Atma actually. So that's why everything is finished. So when this Atma is liberated, so all this subtle body, that is nothing but this is a storehouse of all these impressions that's left over here only. But in the case of Nayayikas, those are all there in the Atma. That's the difference. Gnana is the guna of the Atma. That is their point. We are not saying Gnana is not the, that means their definition of Gnana. You should not take, that's the main problem. The main problem, you don't know the definitions. Their definition of Gnana is what? Not your definition of Gnana. Their definition of Gnana is information about the objects that is stored in the Atma, they are saying. So we are saying that is not Nirguna, the word is saying. Okay, anyway, if you understood, is fine. So next, I'll go to further, then I will see. Okay, I'm losing time. Te tu gnanadi gunakam manyante iti gnana gunavatvabhave pi gnana vishayostu iti gnanagamyam gnanagneyam ityadyukte tatraham mimamsakad iti. I am reading from Vamsidhari and also Sridhar Swami. It's elaborated by Vamsidhari. Huh? Huh? Not Vamsidhari Mataji. She will knows only accounting and money, counting money. So now the word Swayam Jyotihi, this is rejecting the opinion of Mimamsakas. Mimamsakas, they say Atma is the, Mimamsakas is, opinion is Atma is the object for the knowledge. Atma is, this is Atma you take. Gnana Vishayam. What? Gnana Vishayam. Gnana Vishayam. That means Atma is the object for knowledge. It is becoming object. Knowledge is there. And what is the object? Let us take pen is there. Pen is the object. Marker. You take otherwise marker. Marker. This is marker. This is knowledge or not? This is marker. It is a knowledge. For this knowledge, what is the object? This is knowledge. This is no marker. For this knowledge, who is the object? Marker. Okay, this is just a general concept of object is becoming the, that means some, that means object of the knowledge. To explain object of the knowledge, I'm taking this example. You take a object marker and you take the knowledge, this is marker. And for this knowledge, marker is object. They say Atma is object for knowledge. And now that means Atma is illuminated through this knowledge. That is their concept. That concept is rejected here. Atma is Swayam Jyoti. It's self-illuminating.
So here we are discussing Paramatma. Yeah, this also, this verse. Yeah, just like.
It's a Paramatma, yes.
No, I'm telling,
Yeah.
asking
Yeah.
whether this
The soul
also
also
applies
is
for
applicable.
soul
Soul
also,
also applicable and also Paramatma.
this quality, no?
Yes. Swayam Jyotihi. The word Swayam Jyotihi is rejecting the philosophy of Mimamsakas. According to Mimamsakas, Atma is the object for the knowledge. But here in the sloka it is said that Atma is self-illuminating. Okay, next. Self-effulgent, self-illuminating, both are okay. Jnanadharatvena sprana. That means Atma is known through the knowledge. But if you see, when you go into the deep sleep, at the time, there is no knowledge. You are knowing yourself through the Atma itself. That's why our philosophy is establishing that Atma is Swayam Jyoti. It is not known through the knowledge. No. It is self-illuminating. That's the point. Now you should also understand how the Swayam Jyoti word is defeating the philosophy of Mimamsakas.
We give example that is to understand Atma, just like this is a hand, you're separate from hand, this is body. So we try to give knowledge for just through object of knowledge, but for common understanding only, no? Otherwise, this is self-knowledge.
But there we are not, we are just figuring out actually, but we are not, we are intuition, developing intuition to accept the Atma, but we are not showing the Atma.
But we are showing the existence of Atma and
just that's that. That's
knowledge
the
about
answer.
Atma.
Not
Yes.
the Atma we are directly showing. That's the point. We are developing intuition in them to accept the existence of the knowledge. Is clear? So 3 questions already you got now. Small questions. Each is 1 mark. Otherwise 2 marks. Take it too. No problem. So anyway, next what? Yena Ishram Yena Samanvitam Prakashita iti Sheshaha. So etaihi eva hetubhihi purushasya prakritehi paratva. Because of all these reasons, so he is beyond the prakriti. Okay, go to the next sloka. Okay, purport. We'll read the purport. How what Prabhupada is writing also we'll also see. Sumati Mataji, you are getting? Is going on head, flying.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
You able to understand?
Yes, Prabhu, to some extent, not completely.
Acha. Okay.
Some preliminary knowledge of the other darshanas. Otherwise, it feels like you walk in the room and the conversation is already going on, and you walk in the room, it's like you're getting what they're talking about, but
something, but not clearly. Actually, yes. Yeah, that's true because you don't know the deeply the
Word Mimamsa is a word for us. What is Mimamsa? Nyayik word. Just like Bata company, BATA, only Bata, nothing else. What is inside Bata? So similarly, first episode because
Anyway, even a big journey, 1,000 miles of target you'll chase by the starting with one step only. So this is the first step to enter into the various philosophies. So just you came across, so you should know, you should not get surprise, amusement when you suddenly see the Swami saw and someone asked. So that's why I know I'm not clearly justifying this topic, how these philosophies are rejected by these words, but at least some idea I'm giving. That's all. I'm also accepting. But that at least something you got, that's okay. At least you are able to write 2 lines or 3 lines. That is also fine. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you can clarify or make a contrast between the conception of Ishvara and Atma and Nyaya with the Jiva Goswami's philosophy in connection to the Atma and Ishvara.
Basic understanding is, see, Prabhu, Atma they are accepting as it's a locus of the knowledge. That means whatever knowledge we are acquiring, so that is everything is stored in that, the Atma in that. But according to our philosophy, that means there is a that knowledge is added to the Atma. But in our philosophy, knowledge is not added to the Atma. So Atma is avyakta, avyaya. There is no transformation in that. So only thing is, anything is we are knowing, that is only so is happening. Any transformation by seeing the objects, any knowledge is acquired, that is stored in heart, in the form of vrittis, in the form of impressions. In our philosophy, actually, yes. Nirguna word, that's why they are saying this material knowledge is added, it's a guna of the Atma, they are saying. That's why by saying the word Nirguna is defeated their point. You got it? This point you got? Yeah, some degrees enough. Yeah. Yeah. No, bro. There is no anadi sansarga bhava. No. There is no concept of that.
So they refer when the jnana is the locus or the substratum of the soul.
Yes.
That jnana is which jnana? Because there are
everything about the objects also.
About the object. So jnana is a quality of the.
There is no chit concept is not there in them. Okay. There is only the permanent, means there is only the atom. Atom is the permanent, is nitya vastu.
So atma is a dravya.
Is dravya, yes. It is also eternal.
And guna is a jnana is a guna.
Is guna, yes.
It's a guna of atma.
Atma, yes.
It's a quality.
Yes.
And that's different from in our philosophy.
Yes. Our gnana is different, and we don't accept that kind of gnana. What they say, that gnana as guna of Atma, we don't accept.
So what is jnana in our philosophy? Is it Shakti or is it?
It's a gnana is also many ways is there. That means Bhautika, Vidya. So Vidya is there. According to us, Maya is also having the Vidya, and that is stored in the impressions, actually in the heart. In the heart it is stored. And also there is spiritual knowledge, the Swarupa Gnana. That is there. So that is given to Atma through the Chit Shakti. That means this Atma is developing the body of Chit body. You're understanding? And that body is with the Atma accompanied with the soul eternally. And there is a Atma is also having the material body. Atma is also having the spiritual body. And Bhakti knowledge is stored in the spiritual body. And this whatever material knowledge is stored in the material heart. So that's why as much as you do bhakti, what is happening? Our material heart is started transforming into spiritual body. Like if you keep a iron rod in fire, so it is becoming slowly reddish. This is a difference actually. We are developing the spiritual body. So this is the difference between our philosophy. They have no concept of chit shakti, this, that. So that's why you cannot compare. You cannot compare the words. Words may be used commonly, but the definitions are very different. So they seeing their definition, we are rejecting. What is the Jnana they take? Okay. So okay, the purport, the Supreme Personality of God, it is described as being without beginning. He is Purusha, the Supreme Spirit. Purusha means person. When we think a person in our present experience, that person has a beginning. This means that he has taken birth, that there is history from the beginning of his life. But the Lord is particularly mentioned here as Anadi, beginningless. If we examine all persons, we will find that everyone has a beginning. But when we approach a person who has no beginning, he is the supreme person. That is the definition given in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna. In this first paragraph, he is explaining about the Anadi word, and that is Ishvara, who is having no beginning. The Lord is described as soul, as spirit. Or what is the definition of spirit? Spirit is the perceivable everywhere. Anyway, Prabhupada is not giving trouble to us to understand Siddhar Swami's defeating of the other philosophies through this sloka. Prabhupada is giving in general understanding. So about the Ishvara, he is saying this Ishvara Parama Krishna, Anadi word, Anadir Adir Govinda. That is the word. So which is also a similar statement, which is saying that Ishvara is Anadi, that he discussed in the first paragraph and also in the second paragraph. So Swayam Jyotihi, self-illuminating. So that is explained. And yeah. Prakriti Paraha. He is transcendental to this material nature. Paraha means, that is last paragraph in that second page 391. If you see transcendental, he is transcendental. Because of all these qualities, we can say he is beyond the Prakriti. So that is because these qualities are not there in Prakriti. Prakriti is not self-illuminating. Prakriti is not Nirguna. So that's why these qualities are not there in the Lord. Lord is Nirguna, but Prakriti is not Nirguna. Lord is Swayam Jyoti, but Prakriti not Swayam Jyoti. So that's why, because of these reasons, we can say, so Lord is beyond the Prakriti. That is explained in the last paragraph in this page. So we'll go to the next sloka. Saisha Prakritim Sukshmam Daivim Gunamayim Vibhu Yadruchayevopagatam Abhyapadyata Leelaya. So I hope actually all of these students, if they try actually understanding the other philosophy, Sarvadarshan Sangra, this book is there. Every philosophy is in brief explained. If you get time as a research work, you can do this. Because your graduates, they should have the research mentality, research angle. So hearing this something in the class, because in the class teacher may not, because graduates, they generally expect it. Bhagavad is like a post-graduation study. In that, they will submitting thesis also. In every university, postgraduates, they submit thesis. So that means research angle is necessary for every postgraduate student. Bhagavad Gita is a graduation and Bhagavatam is post-graduation. So you are all postgraduate students, means you expected to do research and do some research on the extra things. And if you have anything, and we can discuss after class, if you feel more interest. Okay, next. Sayesha Prakritim Sukshmam Daivim Gunamayim Vibhu Yadruchayopagatam Abhyapadyata Leelaya. So what is the translation? As his pastime, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the greatest of the great, accepted the subtle material energy which is invested with three material modes of nature and which is related with Vishnu. So fourth sloka is also telling that Lord is doing this creation. Saha yeshaha prakritim sukshmam daivim gunamayim yadruchaya iva ivopagatam abhyapadyata. What is the meaning of abhyapadyata? He accepted this prakriti. Playfully, he accepted Leelaya. What is here said in this sloka? So, which is invested with the three modes of material nature and which is related with Vishnu. This prakriti, this Maya is belonging to Lord. That is said in this. That means he started interacting with this prakriti. We all know Srilas Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining there are this prakriti, this Srishti Leela, how it is also Leela. In the Srishti Leela, what happens initially? So Karananamaya Vishnu is there and prakriti is there, and Lord is so boring, getting boring by sleeping in the same place. So that's why he got a desire to sleep in new place. And for this, so with this intention, he glanced on Mother Prakriti. And immediately she understood, oh, my Swami, my Lord is desiring to have a new bed. Let me arrange a new bed. Immediately she transformed herself into 23 elements. And after that, from these 23 elements, so new Brahmandas came. And Lord, wow. That means, Lord, just if you have loving relations, just one glance is enough what that person is desiring. Yes or no? So he glanced, that's all. She understood. And she did. She arranged so she transformed. How beautifully Vishwanath explained. This is a Leela actually. This is Srishti Leela. So Lord is accepting this Prakriti so as a Leela. Is a playtime. It's a playtime for the Lord.
Because material world is created because of conditioned souls facilitate because conditioned soul because we forget the Sarupa and want to ours from Lord. So I don't know whether this answer can be given or not. What question? Because this is Anadi, when words comes, everything finished. So if says, oh, Jivatma doesn't forget Sarupa, so is there requirement of a material world? And just like there's no criminal, is requirement of prison?
No.
No. So, but here this is a pastime. Material world is a pastimes of the Lord. That there's meant for pastimes of the Lord. But Lord is already doing pastime. It is many times said, oh, Lord was sufficient. No need to come to Lord in this material world, because Lord came for conditioned soul. That means conditioned soul ours, and because Tutri has
no, Lord didn't come for conditioned souls.
Lord he comes material world because why he came, just like Prime Minister goes to jail, visit jail, as well as why first jail is created. Question come. It is said now here, oh, material world is a pastime of the Lord. Creation, this Srishti Leela is a pastime Lord. Srishti is the pastime Lord, that means material world.
Yeah.
And that is also eternal, not like that, oh, now going to wind up some years.
Mic is off. Very good question he's asking actually. So I understood, Prabhu. Whether it is right or wrong, you tell me. So you are saying that if material world is creation of material world is a playtime for the Lord, is a Leela for the Lord. So, but on another side, we are seeing if there is no criminal, there is no need of any material world. Then at that time, how Leela will happen actually? So this is the question, your question. It's a good question. And Actually, we see this material world, creation of the Leela means what? It's not, Lord is not having any purpose actually. So like a madman is dancing on the road. Is there any purpose? So that's why in the creation of the Lord also, while doing the Leela, there is no purpose, because if you say he's having purpose, then he will not be Atmaram actually. So the Atmaram quality will be disturbed actually. And he is not self-centered, self-dwelling. The Atmaram means he is dwelling in his own self. And then that kind of property is broken actually. So that's why we say every Leela is done out of his ecstasy. It's not done out of any purpose. So this is a fact actually also. And Lord is doing this Srishti Leela out of ecstasy only, in this also. And that is the beauty of his Leela actually. It is also having the all innumerable qualities. That means the Karuna towards the fallen souls also is included in that Leela. So that is the beauty of the Lord actually. It's not the purposefully, he is just seeing the conditioned souls and delivering the conditioned souls is my purpose. He's not coming like that actually. That feature, that means playing is his out of his enjoyment he plays, and he does Leelas. And those Leelas are so magnanimous, and it is also having the quality of Karuna in that.
We can say creation of jail, although we give example, but at this point of view, if we see
philosophical
like that,
point of view,
Vishnu's point of view, if we see to creation of jail, there's a pastime of prime minister. We
Yes,
can
definitely,
say pastime of government.
It's for enjoyment.
Whether criminals are there or not, it is
That's secondary actually.
Secondary. It may be there or not, but jail is made the maid.
Yes.
But one can see because jail's purpose is fulfilled by that, like.
Yes.
But many times, like for preaching sake, we hear also. Oh, Lord was happy in his word.
That is for preliminary understand new people.
Yes.
They don't understand the concept of Bhagavan still didn't come actually to that level. The mercy, and even in their conception, there is no idea. They don't have a figure of the Lord, and nothing is there. And you cannot convince this point to them actually initially. And that's why as a devotee, you don't need to know about the Atma also. So because by doing the bhakti, everything is revealed. But to build a Shraddha in a new people, so it's needed to explain what is spirit and what is matter, so that everything will lead to create a Shraddha towards the Shastra and also towards the bhakti. So that will leading actually. In that way, philosophy you should take. Yeah. So here he is accepting Maya out of playtime only. It's a play game actually. And only for his devotees' sake he does, even if he comes to this material world. So coming to material world is also out of his ecstasy only, just to play with his devotees, or otherwise to show his dance to his devotees, or his fastness to his devotees. That's why only he comes. So here Srila Sridhar Swami is writing, Atra avarana vikshepa shakti vedena prakrutir dvidha. Prakriti. So he is accepting Prakriti, so to play with that, to play with her. So this Prakriti is two types. One is avarana shakti. So jivopadir avidya vikshepa shaktya saiva maya parameshwari. Two, avaranatmaka shakti, vikshepatmaka shakti. This is a place we see actually. In scriptures, people ask, where is this two? This is a place we generally see in this commentary actually. Avaranatmaka Shakti, it is the Jiva Maya. If you see in our terms, Jiva Maya, and it's not Guna Maya actually, it's okay, Vikshepa. I cannot compare with that. Sorry. That you leave that concept. So here Avaranatmaka, Vikshepatmika. Avaranatmaka means covers the knowledge of this self. That means Jivatma forgets I am soul, and I am so part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And also that is Avaranatmika Maya is doing, Avaranatmika Shakti. And Vikshepa means Jivatma is always so deviated from one to another. So Purushascha Jiva Ishvara Rupa. Maya is also two types, Avaranatmika Shakti, Vikshepa. And Purusha is also two types, Jiva and Ishvara. Like this, our Sridhar Swami is giving. But come to our acharyas, Vikshepa will cover, Vikshepa, you always hesitated. Jivatma is hesitated towards the, is attracted towards the various things. Some agitation is there. Vikshepa. Avaranatmika Vikshepa. Throwing means deviating. So here, Sayesha Paramatma Yadruchya Svairataya Ya Leelaya Taya Abhyapadita Aikshata. So here Abhyapadita means Srila Jiva Goswami is taking Aikshata. That means Lord saw Swechaya. That means Lord is glancing on Prakriti out of any purpose? No purpose. Just it is a fun game. It's a Leela. It's a fun game. If you say to deliver the Jivatmas, then conditioned souls, then Lord is not having any karuna actually towards the Jivatma. If why he has to do only glancing, he should do every day and come and deliver every Jivatma. If you say Lord is glancing on Prakriti just to deliver the conditioned soul, then what problem will come? Why he is doing only glancing on Prakriti? Why he is not coming and doing everyone devotee? Why he is not preaching to everyone? When he should extend and do more, then you will be stuck actually. Lord is not preaching. Lord is not introducing bhakti to you. Who is introducing bhakti to us? Only Sadhu Sangha, not the Lord. Lord doesn't have anything, nothing with us, nothing to do with our conditioned state of life. He never get any compassion towards us. By seeing the conditioned Jivatma, he never get any compassion. If we get, there is no material world. Material world should not be there. So, Lord also not sending. Devotees are calling Lord and he is coming. Our devotees are calling to send empowered souls, then he is sending. Otherwise, he is not sending by himself. So when Advaita Acharya called, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and preached. It's not that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by himself came. Krishna himself didn't come actually. No time actually, nowhere actually you will be seeing the scripture. Lord is coming by his own will. He know. When devotees are requesting, then only he is coming. When devatas are requesting, then only he is coming to the various avatars. Who sends? When we ultimately, what is the main point? Who is origin? Who is the main cause to come Lord or his devotees? Who is that? Vaishnava is the cause. That's the fundamental point. You should understand. That's the fundamental point. He may come or he may send his devotees, but behind that, what is the cause? Some Vaishnava is the cause. Who knows the pain of this material world? And his compassion towards these fallen souls is the cause actually. His compassion is the cause. That Vaishnava's compassion is the ultimate cause actually. Is for coming either Lord or his devotees. This is the philosophy actually. If you say Lord is coming, by his, that means Lord is creating this material universe just to deliver the living entities. Why not? Why not he is coming and doing and preaching to every living entity? And why he is not making, and why this much time is happening? In the 1 minute he should deliver everyone? Then there is no material world, nothing. That is not our philosophy actually. Okay, that's why who are compassionate more? Devotees are more compassionate than the Lord. Yeah.
When sun comes, sun appears. Sun doesn't have to preach himself. Please believe me. I am existing. Sun gives light so much. Everybody except sun is there. When Lord comes, Lord itself preaching. Dham comes, itself Dham preaching. Although devotee is also preaching, but the greatest ultimate doer comes controller comes, doer comes. Kartatva, the Lord is only doer, ultimate doer. Ultimate, if we ask ultimate doer, who is the ultimate doer? Even though who's coming giving compassion to the devotee's heart, that is coming from Lord only. No? That's we can say.
Of course, in that way, but the Lord is personally having the compassion and he is doing, then your philosophy is wrong. That is the point. What I am saying, you should understand. So, for coming the Lord or for preaching, so for having bhakti, one brand new soul. That means from the time immemorial, from beginningless Jivatma is aversion, and that soul is turned towards the Supreme Lord. That is due to what? That's due to Sadhu Sangha. That is due to mercy of the Vaishnava. And that's not due to the Lord directly. That's not due to the Lord's mercy, I'm saying this point. Ultimate cause is Lord, but the mercy of the Lord is not the cause. And that's why here the point is material world is created. So out of his mercy to deliver the Jivatma is a secondary point. It's not the main point. The main point is a Leela. It's a play game. Not created. Jivas are eternally there. Jiva is neither created nor destroyed. Yes, Vipin Prabhu.
Sun is coming, but Prabhuji, but just like we see owl, it's not looking towards sun. So it's like our position. Since Lord is also coming, devotees are also coming, but we are not trying to see towards Lord. We are acting just like owls. So what Pitambar Chaitanya Prabhu was saying, so I just...
What Pitambar Prabhu is saying and what you are saying?
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So saying that Lord is coming like a sun.
Are what I am saying, what you understood my point or not? What is the, whose compassion is the cause for the Jivatma to turn towards the Lord? That is the point I am asking. Whose compassion? If Lord is coming to this material world to deliver someone, so Lord is coming by himself or any devotee is requesting, then only is coming.
Any devotee is requesting, then is
that is the point. And devotee's compassion is the cause. Of course, behind that compassion, that compassion is also given through the bhakti, and that bhakti belongs to the Krishna. That is not I am asking. So that means the melting of the heart happened to the Lord or to the devotee. That's the point. Compassion means it's a melting of the heart and it is overflowing from that heart. That is due to the Vaishnava actually. Try to understand the philosophical point actually, so that your philosophy should not be broken. If you say Lord is the directly cause and Lord's compassion is the cause for the coming here also, then why he is not delivering everyone? Ultimate is different. That's why try to understand what teacher is saying. Okay. So as this Swechaya, that's why the word here, important word, Edruchaya, Srila Jiva Goswami translated into Swairataya. That means out of his own free. So he is glancing on Prakriti. He's glancing on the Prakriti. So that's this play. Out of, like a mad person is dancing on the road. He doesn't have any purpose. And nobody is asking him to do that. It's a play. That's the point. So Swairataya ya Leela Taya Abhyapadyata Aikshata. So he will be doing in his spiritual world also so many Leelas, and also he is playing with the spiritual energy, Sarupa Shakti, and also is playing with the material energy. Both. He's enjoying with all energies is there meant for what? Enjoyment of the Lord. Even material energy is also is there for his enjoyment only. He's creating and he's sleeping there. And that's his enjoyment. And anyway, that Leela is also having the compassion, so and so. So many things are happening as a Avantara Phala. That's the secondary products. So, but Lord is coming and preaching in this material world. So when some devotee is requesting, so ultimately bhakti is the cause. Lord always responds to only bhakti, not for the material pain. So Maya pain, that means someone is getting due to Maya some pain, and by seeing that pain never comes. Gajendra also was suffering pain due to this crocodile for the thousands of years, but he never get any compassion by seeing that. But when Gajendra said, "Oh my dear Lord, you please come," and he didn't call the name, particular name, but all the characteristics of the Lord she described, and immediately he ran and he came. That's why what touches the Lord, Lord heart is touched by devotion, not by the material pain. Material pain is not the cause for the Lord's change in his heart. Material pain is there for many jivas are suffering because of their karma. He never bother about that. He don't care. Those jivas are turned away from him. They are not his devotees. He doesn't have anything, nothing to do with those. They are suffering, going and coming, coming, going, changing the different bodies. Nothing to do with those. He has no interest in those. But out of those, anyone is interested, and he is saying, "My dear Lord, Artho, Ardharthi, Jignasu, Gnani," anyone, for any reason, if you raise the hands, immediately he will, this person is mine. He says, "He is my devotee." Then he will be reciprocating with them according to their, so ye yathamam prapadyante tam tadaiva bhajami. So according to their devotion, so he will also reciprocate. So that is, otherwise he will never reciprocate with any other, so non-devotees. He doesn't have any business with them. No. So purport in this verse, the word gunamayim is very significant. Daivi means invested with the three modes of material nature. When the material energy, my God, time is 5th sloka. Gunair vichitra srujati sarupa prakritim prajaha vilokya mumuhe sadyaha saiha gnana guhaya. Translation: divided into varieties by her threefold modes, material nature creates the forms of living entities, and the living entities, seeing this, are illusioned by the knowledge covering feature of the illusory energy. What this sloka is saying, 5 to 8, the jiva's interaction with the prakriti leads to his bondage. Jivatma is tied up with this to this material world because of his interaction. It is relishing, enjoying the prakriti. So gunaihi vichitraha sujitim sarupaha prakritim prajaha vilokya mumuhe sadhya saiha gnana guhaya. This Maya prakriti is having three modes, and by the influence of time, these three modes are changing, and that is leading to creation of various forms: laptop, alarm, mobile, marker, karatal, tables, pillar, and these are all various transformations of prakriti in due course of time. Time is the cause for creation of, that means time is bringing the changes in the initially the padartha is avyakta, that means prakriti is in balanced state, three gunas. What is the parama mahat kala? You all remember. What is the parama mahat kala? You also wrote in the exam. From the creation to the dissolution. That means the amount of time required to change, to get that change, so is known as parama mahat kala. So in that time, what is happening? Time, by the influence of the time, so it slowly is changing actually. Time comes under the Maya Shakti or the Chit Shakti? Chit Shakti. Tell me. Time belongs to, time is transcendental energy. Raise your hand. Time is transcendental. Time is material energy. Raise the hand. What kind of energy this is? Internal energy. Time is internal energy. Time is internal energy or the external energy? Where you keep? Time is neither internal energy nor external energy. It is the form of the Lord. It is a one different form of the Lord. So it is not coming out of the Prakriti. In the 23 elements, is there any time element? In the spiritual world, is there any time? Nacha kala vikramaha. There is no time in spiritual world. Nacha kala vikrama. You studied in the second canto 9th chapter, though. It is a one kind of energy of the Lord. It is a form of the Lord. Not much energy also. So that's why Baldev Vidyabhushan categorizes intellectually this way. He says Ishvara, Prakriti, Jiva, Karma and Kala. Karma is created in the 23 elements. It is there, karma. In the Prakriti, karma is created? No. Karma is there in the spiritual world? No. It is also different element. That's why he counted how many? 5. This is another classification actually. Prabhu, I am not asking whether it is created or not created. But the point is, so whether it is coming under the Bhiranga Shakti, that's Maya, it's not coming under that. Whether it is coming under the internal energy, it's not there in the spiritual world. It is not created in the 23 elements. This is some different element actually. It is also, which is always accompanied with the Jivatma when Jivatma, when Atyantika Pralaya happens, at the time Jivatmas, with everything, that means body, this gross and subtle bodies are dissolved. This gross body merges into 5 Mahabhutas, Pancha Mahabhutas, Pancha Tanmatras, and subtle body merges into the Mahata, Ahankara, and so on. So finish. But Jivatma is accompanied with the karma. That karma is not dissolving. If that is also dissolved in the Prakriti, then how next life? That means in the next creation, Jivatma, how it can get the new karma? So that's why karma is not out of 23 elements. Is not out of the Prakriti. It's different from the Prakriti. Avyakt. It's Anadi. Yeah, but it is not Ananta. That's why we consider 5 elements in the Bhagavad Gita. You are all clearly seeing. Is an important point. Understand? Okay.
So it works out that internal, external, and marginal is not comprehensive classification of all Shaktis.
One way.
Means it's not comprehensive.
No, not completely. Yes. That's Jiva. Baladev gave this some another understanding. Yeah, Prabhupada is taking from the Baladevs. Mike.
So in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada mentioned these 5.
Yes.
From Baladev Vidyabhushan.
Yes.
And so when we understand from that list, Prakriti is Bahiranga Shakti and contains 24 elements.
Yes.
And then as another entity is Kala and Karma, 2 different entities,
yes,
not included within the elements.
Yes. Okay.
But there are some Sankhya that they use time as an element. In another analysis of Sankhya, time is an element.
No.
25.
In which chapter? This chapter. But in general Sankhya, 24 elements. So Chaturvimshati is clearly wrote here. So 24 elements. 24 elements. And 25th is Jiva, 26th is the Ishwar in general. 25th is Jivatma and 26th is the Ishvara. And 24 are the Prakriti and 23 are coming from that.
So because in They said that is a 25 element.
But anyway, see,
In the
so the understanding is this. So Prakriti means we are considering 24 elements, and Ishvara is always accompanied with his Swarupa Shakti, and Jivatma is marginal. And even one more thing, this, so Shiva Tattva is also one more special item. You should remember is one more energy, which is not covered by the either internal, external, and marginal. There is one more energy. That is also one more thing. So like this, so classification, time to time you will be seeing the additions, some additions. Anyway, this is not the main topic, but try to understand. Let me go and further of this. Gunaihi vichitraha srujitim swarupaha prakritim prajaha. So that's why this Prakriti is creating the so many forms by his gunas. Gunaihi vichitraha. But Jiva kya Purusha? Purushas are two types already we read, na? So one is Ishvara, another is Jiva. But the Purusha who is known as Jiva, he is bewildered by these objects created by the Prakriti. Okay. Next. So Prabhupada is writing, material energy has the power to cover knowledge, but this covering cannot be applied to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is applicable only to the Prajaha, or those who are born with the material bodies, the conditioned source. The different kinds of living entities vary according to the modes of material nature, as explained in the Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literature. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is very nicely explained that although the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance are born out of Supreme Person, Godhead, he is not subjected to them. So Lord is not influenced by the gunas, but because Tadapashrayam and also Mayam cha vidhuya, what is that? Kaivalye sthita atmani chitsektya vedasya mayam vedasya chitsektya kaivalye sthita atmani. Lord is vedasya, is rejecting means, so he is not accepting that energy in his swarupa. He is keeping that as a riterdam pratiyate yat pratiyate nacha atmani. It is out of the swarupa of the Lord, but it is also with the depending on the Lord. So riterdam yat pratiyate na pratiyate cha atmani. Mayam cha tadvidyat mayam yata bhaso yatatama. So it's one of the Chatusloki. So second paragraph, it is stated in the previous verse that the material energy was accepted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in order that he might exhibit pastimes for the living entities who wanted to enjoy and lord it over the material energy. This world was created through the material energy of the Lord for the so-called enjoyment of the living entities, which is material world was created. Okay, these are all in general information, so you all know. So please read this, and I'll go to the next sloka. So evam parabhidhyanena kartrutvam prakrute puman karmasu kriyamaneshu gunairatmani manyate. Because of his forgetfulness, the transcendental living entity accepts the influence of material energy as his field of activities, and thus actuated, he wrongly applies the activities to himself. Evam parabhidhyanena katrutvam prakrute puman karmasu kriyamaneshu gunaihi atmani gun. Prakrute kriyamanani gunaihi sarvasa. Ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. That is the sloka actually. It's the same meaning here. Actually, all these things are done by Prakriti, but ahankara vimudatma kartaham vitiyam manyate. So he is accepting himself as doer. So here he'll also, because of the Para abhidhyanena, because he's entering into these things, material objects. So that's why prakrutehe gunaihi kriyamaneshu karmasu. Prakriti of prakriti. Prakriti means prakrutehe gunaihi. That means gunas of the prakriti. So by those gunas, karma is done. That means various objects, various activities are done by the prakriti. And but paravidhyanena, but he is entering into that, into those objects and thinking that I am the doer. Atmani manyate is claiming those as done by himself. And here one, let me, please give me another 15 minutes. Please. Okay. Only 15 minutes. Shall I explain lightly or deeply? Jiva Goswami explain very deeply. If you want, I will explain deeply. Otherwise, if you want deep explanation, I will take 15 minutes. Light explanation means 2 minutes. Good explanation is there actually. Here 2 types of ahankara is there that you should establish. That's the point. How to establish 2 types of ahankaras are there. One is created by the Maya and another is inherent to the Atma. Yes or no? This, how can you establish? Nam Sankirtan. Establish, write the question. Establish 2 types of ahankaras existing with every living entity, embodied living entity. One is out of modes, prakriti, and another is out of inherent, is out of the soul only, inherent quality. Another is the inherent quality. These 2 you should establish, prove. You should prove this. Very simple actually. In the Tattva Sandarbha also we discussed. Four. So this is a soul, all of you know, and this is the first layer, that is the Atma. Sorry, no, sorry. It is a, you can say it's a internal subtle body. You can consider as it is a combination of ahankara, material ahankara, plus mind, intelligence, everything. Okay. Intelligence plus mind. And here senses are there. These senses. And here sense objects. Anyway, all these are all accumulated in gross body. That is okay. These are the sense objects. What happens actually when person goes into the deep sleep? Deep sleep, that means sushupti. Sushupti stage of the person. That is a example. So by that we are going to establish. When person goes into the sushupti, then what will happen? There is a disconnection. Actually, soul is connected to the senses and sense objects through this subtle body, that is, which is comprised of ahankara, intelligence, and mind. And now, what is happening actually when sushupti goes? So there is a disconnection actually. There is a disconnection between the soul and this subtle body, and so soul is not connected to the either senses and or the sense objects, which are is a material world. Sense object means is a material world, outside world, or otherwise outside world. So now we are connected to the outside world in the Jagruti awakening stage. So through the subtle, that means internal, this subtle body and senses, and through that way we are connected, we are seeing and we are feeling. We are doing many things actually. So but when you enter Sushupti, everything is disconnected and soul is alone. Is alone. In Sushupti stage, soul is alone. Then you, after getting up from the deep sleep, how you feel? Explain that is enough. That feeling, it's enough to establish this ahankara. This soul is also having the I-ness, I. The soul is nothing but I. The word I is representing what here? Soul. Here also ahankara is there, I. Ahankara, I, soul. Soul is the, like pen. Pen is the object, marker is the object. And marker word is there. Marker word is referring which? This object marker. So similarly, the word I in English, I is indicating whom? Soul, or otherwise this ahankara. So after getting up from the sleep, aham sukam aham aswap. I got happiness. What feeling? Aham sukam aswapsam. I slept. So I slept happily. So when paramarsacha atayeva mam aham na agnasisham. So when you are in the deep sleep state, what happened in this material, in this world, outside world? This is you. So after getting up from the sleep, you will be saying that I was not knowing me when I was in the deep sleep state. This you are always expressing this. That means, first what you are saying, I was happy. You will be saying that after getting up immediately, you are not happy now. You are not happy now. You are saying that what? I was happy. I was happy, you will say, or I am happy. I was happy only, you say. I was happy, you are saying, means what? I was happy. Who was happy? At that time, you are not connected to this. You are not connected to this ahankara. That means we know that Sushupta stage, in the Sushupta state, So this mind is not connected to this soul. So definitely there is separated. But still you are saying, I was happy means this is happy. This is soul. This you, this I was happy. Why at that time you are getting happiness? Why you are getting happiness? Because this object itself is a Satchit Ananda. Satchit Ananda object this is. That means Ananda is a natural quality of this object actually. And also that object is self-illuminating. It doesn't need any senses to experience itself. Atma is experiencing itself. That's why it is Swayam Jyotihi, self-illuminating. That's why we said in the recently. And it doesn't need anything actually. Because all these gross senses, everything is out. Is out at that time. Everything is disconnected actually. So, but still you are saying that is happy. You are not saying that was happy. That was happy you are saying, or I was happy you are saying? Huh? I was happy. Why you are using? Because it is also having the I-ness, the ahankara. That means I. And one more point what you are saying that aham mam na mam aham na agnasisham. Mam aham na agnasisham. But who is that? You say, I don't know me at that time. After getting up, what you are saying? Aham mam na agnashisham ityatra. I don't know, or otherwise I was not knowing me at that time. That means after getting up, what is happening? This I and this I are merging actually. And now after getting up, you are saying I don't know me. Means this I is, after getting up, that I is this, which is connecting you with this material world. And that I is you are identifying now. And that's why you are saying, I don't know me, or I was not knowing me. That me is this. So that's why there are the two ahankaras are there.
Regarding this only, yesterday we discussion was that mukti, that mukti, that is
Videha
mukti. And you said there is a spark only, there is no senses, no ananda. That means cannot reciprocate.
Yes.
But here discussion is going on. There is a soul, and when soul, that is the itself ananda, and itself senses is there. There's no connection.
No,
that means
it doesn't, to realize that it doesn't need anything. Actually.
Yeah. So that means potency ability is there in that when it's disconnected to material world, that ananda is there because
it experiences self-illuminating.
Self-illuminating.
Prakasha.
So when soul merges there, soul goes to Brahman effulgence, that we say it cannot, it doesn't have a senses, we say.
Yeah,
but soul is always.
Who said now also his soul is having senses? Did I say?
Yes, it said the soul self-illuminating.
I didn't say soul is senses. Soul is Prabhu. Why you are saying it? So what I am saying, soul is self-illuminating means it is so experiencing itself.
You also mentioned, Prabhuji, that sense, not material sense, soul itself. Soul
did I say senses are there now?
Yeah, soul.
Did I say now this soul is having senses? This soul is having?
That's itself. Soul means soul has individual own senses because she feels happiness.
Senses are there. Sense organs. No.
Sense organs, not material senses.
It
Individual
is experiencing itself.
experiencing. But now without senses in there, how
Yeah,
can
without
experience-
senses, I
how
said.
without senses, how can experience? Not material sense. Soul original
That's why it
senses-
is said that it is not the object of anything. It is a self-illuminating means what? It is revealing itself actually. No other things are needed.
Yes.
So that is like lamp is there. Lamp is visible by its own prakasha.
Okay, that
It doesn't need
yeah.
anything.
The soul is revealing, yes, Swam Jyoti, all these things, qualities are mentioning is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But soul goes, when soul goes to Brahman presence,
Okay.
that time that also existing, that time that quality or not.
Otherwise, how the bliss will be coming?
Yeah.
Otherwise, how the bliss will be there? So that's why when you are merging into the Brahman, you are getting the bliss or not? You are experiencing bliss or not? So soul is experiencing bliss.
Yeah. That time is also there. That things. But then the question came ki, somebody comes like the devotees association can get or not can get. So discussion was that no, he cannot get because he's required some senses, something. But soul, that is simply spark is there.
Yes.
Nothing is there.
Yes.
So, but that quality of soul is always there because Satchidananda. That
What
put-
quality, Prabhu? Is it seeing anything there? Did I say at that time, even these senses are not there, this soul is seeing anything outside world?
Prabhu, why you are getting?
No, Prabhu, actually you try to understand, you are wasting your time. Try to understand this soul is seeing anything outside world.
But that
Please tell
another-
me, is it sensing anything outside world? Is it experiencing itself? I am saying it is not seeing anything outside.
My question is that I will speak in peacefully, but you may speak whatever.
No,
language-
peacefully, Prabhu. We should preserve the time. Is important of the time also. Class is having the time. Your doubt should be having limit. And try to understand, come to the direct point. Why you are dragging the discussion here and there?
Because that discussion was connected.
You
to
can ask
previous-
later otherwise.
Previous classes, no?
So I'm saying clearly, you try to understand what this soul is not having any senses, and if it is having senses, then it can realize even these external senses are there. It should see everything. It is not doing that. What I am saying, it is experiencing itself. Is it seeing outside anything? That's the point. For that, it needs senses. So if it is happening, then in the Sushupti also, it should be seeing the whole world. That's the point. That's why, what I said, in the Brahman stage, it is not seeing anything because there is no senses. If it is a sense, soul is having the senses by itself. Even in the Sushupti also, it should be seeing everything with those senses. So the purport, the forgetful living entity can be compared to a man who is under the influence of disease and has become mad, or to a man haunted by ghosts, who acts without control and yet thinks himself to be in control. Under the influence of material nature, the conditioned soul becomes absorbed in material consciousness. In this consciousness, whatever is done under the influence of material energy is accepted by the conditioned soul as self-attituated. Actually, the soul in his pure state of existence should be in Krishna consciousness. When a person, so that means in the pure Krishna consciousness is possible due to bhakti only. So just by differentiating yourself from the Prakriti, that is not self actually, that is not sufficient. Until unless you don't get the devotion, you will not be knowing the Krishna actually. So that's why that individual spark soul is becoming the Krishna consciousness through what? Through the bhakti. When it does bhakti, then only it will be getting the spiritual body, and it is able to understand spiritual senses it is getting. That soul is getting the spiritual senses which is due to bhakti, and it is able to see the Krishna by that. And it is able to see the material world because of the material senses. So when it is connected to the material senses through this is a subtle body. So which is arranged by this false ego, and that through that false ego it is connected to the senses, and through the senses it is connected to the sense object and is able to see. So that's why individual spark He is having the either of the bodies, either spiritual or the material body. Through the spiritual body, it is being able to participate in the spiritual world and doing the service with that spiritual body. Actually, when a person is not acting in Krishna consciousness, he is understood to be acting in material consciousness. So that's why, but who is a Brahmagnani, Brahmavadi, what he is doing? He is trying to separate the soul from this material and also not having the sufficient bhakti. So that's why he is not having any spiritual body and not having the material body. And he is just by individual. So soul is merging into the effulgence of the Lord's body, that is Brahma Jyoti. And he is stating in that, and it is experiencing only the limited pleasure. So that's why Brahmanandam is compared with the even a drop. That means it is not equal to a drop. If one goes into the meditation of the Brahman for the half period of Brahmaji, one parartha, that is not equal to the pleasure accumulated in the duration of the time, is not equal to the even a one drop of the pleasure experienced when soul get the spiritual body through the Krishna consciousness. So the material consciousness simply has to be purified. One becomes liberated by accepting Krishna or the Supreme Lord as master and by changing the mode of consciousness from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness. That is the thing actually. So by doing the devotional service, so now soul through the ahankara, false ego, is engrossed in these material objects and it is fully conscious of the material objects, and that is, so we are removing, and that is we are coming out from that. So by developing the Krishna consciousness. Okay, thank you very much for your extra time. So we'll be discussing tomorrow the remaining slokas. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yeah. Mike.
Does the two Ahankaras have any name, Prabhu?
No specific name, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah. Ajay Gopinath, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, I have two questions. One was similar to what I think Chaitanya Jivan asked that. Is that the true Ahankara which is being spoken? We say false ego and true ego.
Yeah.
So this, the other ego is the true ego, which is mentioned about the identity of the Jiva.
Yes. That's the thing.
Okay. So in another sense, during the deep sleep,
yes,
the Jiva is almost in the liberated stage.
Mm-hmm.
Is that understanding right?
Yeah, deeply in the liberation, Jivatma, individual Jivatma is separate from the material world. It's completely liberated, means it is disconnected. The same thing is happening. So that's why the Brahmanandam, whatever you want to know. So if you go to the deep sleep without dreams, deep sleep means without dreams. Dreams means once again this Atma is connected to the subtle body. So dreamless state is known as deep sleep. That if you go to that state, then you can experience the Brahmananda.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.